Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. Welcome here to Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Bills. Hold on. Can y'all not hear me? Can y'all hear me? Just making sure you can hear me. It looks like the mic was, something told me to double check that microphone. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I am Rockin Robbie Bills. Oh, you can hear me the whole time? That's weird. What did I just do then? Can you hear me now? What a way to start the show. Hey, wait, what? Can you hear me now? What's going on? It told me device was not yeah, okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers, in particular, Rockin Robbie Live. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Bills. How is everybody doing? I hope you had a great weekend. But of course, this is the show where we gather to talk about comics, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more here on Rockin Robbie Billups. Most Sunday nights. This is the start of 3 Sunday night shows in a row. So I'm really, really excited. But welcome, everybody. Station Pop Pop Boom. How y'all doing? Spilio in the house. Two Gun. So many great people in the house. We'll get to the chat here in a second. You know, we got some great stuff coming up for the show tonight, including the DC sneak peek. DC's got comics out this week, believe it or not. I have read them. I'm going to let you know what I think about them. Can y'all hear me? Now I'm like tripping for some reason. We're going to be doing that DC in the 90s bit that we've had set up for like a month now, but just keep through different various methods like tequila and struggle streams have not been able to get to. We're getting to that tonight. We got a little bit of show and tell. We got some taste testing. We got some... I'm on mute. Can y'all not hear me? You're messing with me. Loud and clear. Thank you, Jay. It's been a couple weeks since we did one of those, and the last time was not the best. So here's to you. You heard us the whole time. Thank you. I don't know what the hell I did then. Anyway, glad to see y'all all here. Where was I? Okay, even though we have a grand plan, some would even call it grandiose, this show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. What do you want to chat about? What do you want to get into? Talk about it. Let me know in the chat. Throw out a station. Throw out a pop, pop, boom. You can also support the channel over at patreon.com/PCP or with Super Chat tonight. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. We're more active on Instagram than on Facebook, but we are very active in the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. I would highly encourage you to join that group. Get your voice heard on certain PCP Army movie polls and stuff like that. Just lots of always fun, great stuff, and you'll never miss a PCP announcement there. You can check out podcasts and more. We used to do a podcast called Pop Culture Philosophers. You can check all that out at popculturephilosophers.com. There's links to all of this stuff in the bottom. You can follow me on Twitter if you are there, or my bad, X, at the Rockin Robbie. I'm very little active there. I'm most active in the PCP Army and a little bit on Instagram. For the most part, more on Instagram, I guess. Anyway, that's where you can follow us. Look at our cool, awesome PCP patrons right there. How cool. Thank you all so much for the support, because all the support we need is a like, a share, subscribe, and a participation. Everybody gets a participation trophy tonight. Just throw out something in the chat. Say what's up. Throw out a station, a pop, pop, boom. Let us know that you're all up in this room. I feel so out of practice. All right. A couple of announcements. Next week, Rockin Robbie Live coincides with the opening Sunday of the NFL. And the Cowboys are playing the Giants that night on NBC. So that means next week, Super Chat menu protocols are activated. We're going to be watching the game together. It's going to be a Rockin Robbie Live Cowboys watch-along, first game of the season. And I think it's going to be very exciting. So I hope everybody will join me in watching Sunday Night Football next week, where we will have the Super Chat menu active. And if you watch the last few of those that we did, which are the only couple, I think we just did 2. Yep. Those usually wind up being very, very fun. So yeah, Cowboys, Giants, that's next week. Coming up here at PCP, we're right in the midst of Horror Fest. It just kicked off week 2 last night on Dylan's Horror Show. Had a great conversation about The Howling. Horror Fest continues tomorrow night, though, on PCP Movie Night with Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter, a Hammer film that I do believe is maybe not inspiration, but a prototype for what Blade was going to be. Then on Thursday night, I will be over at Blood Splatter Chatter to talk about Sisters, the lost Brian De Palma film, basically. Nobody's ever heard of this. I think Scarpet said he thought it was a TV movie, but we'll see. It's got Margot Kidder. And then Saturday night, Dylan's Horror Show, we'll be talking about Prey. I haven't seen this yet. It's kind of like a Predator movie, right? So that's really, really cool. So join us for Horror Fest this week. Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter on PCP Movie Night tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then Sisters at Blood Splatter Chatter over at Blood Splatter Chatter at 8 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. And Dylan's Horror Show at 8 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. And I love the unity in the time slots now. But Prey over at Dylan's Horror Show. Y'all get ready for Horror Fest. It is going to be the absolute best ever. All right, everybody, and with me playing that HorrorFest promo, we have now been demonetized on YouTube. It happened the last time. It's going to happen again. It's okay. Who cares? Anyway, we appreciate all the support. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Hope you had a great weekend. What do you want to talk about? Get it in the chat. We're here for the opening shots, though no shots tonight, but we will be kicking it off with your very own First Five. All right, and for First Five, we're opening up in the HorrorFest vibe. Mark Spears Monsters. We're opening up a pack of these. We're going to show you the first 5 cards in the pack. And my homie Mark has some really exciting projects in the work that you will be hearing about here shortly. Mark, if you're out there, we love you. Keep up the good work. All right. First up, we got Ape Man, obviously aping on Planet of the Apes. Then we got Alucard. That's pretty dope. That's a dope card, actually. Not Master. Frankenstein's Monster versus Dracula. Dracula. And Farius Fink, which looks like Creature from Harry Potter, in my opinion. That is your first 5. And I'm looking at, we're going to give you a bonus because this is a dope card. The Hell Queen. Haven't seen this one out of the set yet. Look at that beautiful shit. Well done, sir. And that has been your First 5. All right. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I had a fantastic weekend. Hung out with some good friends of mine on Friday. And those same good friends on Saturday after Dylan's horror show. And we watched Saw and Saw 2 because we're ending HorrorFest on PCP movie night. It's not the grand finale. That's going to be on Verno's channel with Halloween, Rob Zombies. Halloween. I'm really harsh on a lot of the Halloween movies for loving the franchise so much, to be honest with you. However, what was I talking about? Saw's coming up, so you got 10 movies to get through. We got to start them now, you know. And thank you, Fable, for throwing out the links to all the channels involved in HorrorFest. I do appreciate that. So what was I saying? What was I talking about? I don't even remember. Surely I do. HorrorFest. This Saw. Watch Saw 1 and 2. So when you see me post on Instagram and on Facebook that I'm watching Saw after the show tonight and Saw 2 tomorrow night, just know that I'm kayfabing that, but don't tell nobody, please. That one is kayfabed. The only other one that was kayfabed so far has been Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, because I watched that one late at night, and I don't want to like post at 2 in the fucking morning. But we were up late last night watching Saw 1, Saw 2. Had a great time revisiting those 2 movies. Honestly, this was the most enjoyable experience I ever had watching Saw 2, which was always one of my least favorites of the ones I've seen, which I've seen the first 5, and I've seen Spiral. But I haven't seen, obviously, the newest one, or 6 through 8, I guess. So there's like Saw 6, Saw 7, and then Jigsaw. I haven't seen those, but it'll be my first time watch for those 3. I have 3 unwatched movies from the Texas Chainsaw franchise, too. That was nice. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre video was really fun for me. At the stress and torture I apparently put Brooks through and having him watch all of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. But anyway, yeah, it's been a great week. Hung out with the dear friend of mine today. Hadn't seen her in a few days. So that was great. Got out in the sunshine, did a little bit of shopping, and it was a good day. Good day overall. I had a nice conversation with Spilio right before the show. That's why we were a few minutes late. So as usual, you can blame Spilio for that. But let's take a look at the chat. It's enough of me just doing whatever. Let's see. Clayton, first in the chat. Clayton, station baby. Love you, man. Hope you had a good match last night. Sorry I wasn't there. I was doing Dylan's horror show, The Howling. I'll be there next time, brother. GT Key Comic in the house. Entropy in Comics. What's up, Kev? How you doing, man? Happy anniversary, brother. Belated anniversary, I should say. Comic Boom is in the house. Troglodytes. Okay. Nice. Evil Faced Bad is in the house. What is up? Dwayne's a pain with a pop, pop, boom. Trade Paper Dad with the station. We got Fable in the house. We got Big Herm in the house. Big Herm, I know we owe you something. We're going to give it to you big. It's coming soon. We got R. Ariaga in the house. Comics Embraced in the house. Two Gun Pedro. Pew, pew. Very excited that you're here, homie. Look at all the blue wrenches. We got Canadian Survivalist in the house. Mark McGrath. Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's four-post bed. I need to karaoke that one. I do it enough here. Jay is in the house. What is up, my man? Producer Supreme. We'll not be working together tomorrow night because the Dynamite show over at the Experience Comics Collectibles with Rex and John and Rockin Robbie is not on air tomorrow night. But we will be there on Wednesday, and I'm going to be joining. What's up, Indie Key Comics? What is poppin'? Good to see you here. Spillio in the house. Blame Spillio. Eric, what is up, my dude? I heard you the whole time. I love it. Evil Face Bad says, do drugs, give hugs, show love. Fuck yeah. CMA Thunder's here. A thunder rolls and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night. A storm rolls on out of control. Why do I love that fucking song so much? And you always make me think of it, CMA Thunder. How you doing? Glenn is up in the house. Mark, what is up? Is there a movie for Horror Fest that you haven't seen that you're excited to see, says Jay? Yes, I am very excited to see, what is it? Oh, I had it and I lost it. Sinister. I've never seen Sinister, Scott Derrickson film. It was Two Gun's pick. I'm very excited for that because when Two Gun picks a movie, last year for Horror Fest, he picked Alice Bloody Alice. Is that the name of the movie, right? Sent me a copy of it, and I loved it. And then for March Madness this year, he picked Triangle, and he sent me a copy of it, and I fucking loved that movie. Alice Sweet Alice? Alice Sweet Alice is what I think it is, right? And then Triangle, which I really love. So I'm very excited to check out Sinister because it's a Two Gun pick, and Verno tells me that he thinks that's going to be the scariest, like the most legitimately scary movie during all of a Horror Fest. But Fable disagrees, and he agrees with me. Ju-On, The Grudge, is the most genuinely scary movie on the list, in my opinion. But yeah, Sinister, Jay. I'm excited to see Sisters, too, this week. I haven't seen that. I'll probably watch that Tuesday night, maybe after the weekly review. Oh, Mark's from France. Hell yeah. Station. How do you say station in French? Station? Is that it? Something like that? See, I should see if I got French subtitles on my Bill and Ted not go to hell. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. What's up, ICT Vinny? G-Men versus the boys. We're rivalry. Sorry, but F those boys. That's fine. This is our year. We them boys. We'll see what happens later, though. I always get so excited and nervous at the start of the football season. By the way, War Eagle, Auburn actually looking good against a team they should have stomped all over. They did. That doesn't usually happen for us lately, so we'll see what happens. We got a new coach this year. I haven't really been paying too much attention. Didn't even watch the game. It was on in the afternoon. I could have had it on like on an app or something. Didn't even watch the game. Of course, right now I have no access to ESPN. If anybody's got a cable password you can send me so I can watch ESPN, that'd be great. But whatever. Anyway, Big Herm says, I'll join you till I knock out Robbie. Football, baby. Yeah, it's back, man. Luckily, you're not a Giants fan. You're a Jets fan, right, Herm? Who do y'all play this week? That's going to be interesting to see unfold. Football's got a lot of cool storylines set up for this year, the NFL. Marc Olivier, I believe. Is that how you say it? Olivier? Prey was okay. Hey, we got Joe Slag in the house. What is up, my man? Station, my pick of the week was Hulk 3 and Power Rangers 30th anniversary issue. Yeah, Hulk was my pick of the week too. I actually really liked it. We had great conversations about a bunch of books on Thursday night for the monthly comic book review. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely check it out on the replay. Ooh, Prey. Kind of a Predator movie. I totally want to watch Captain Kronos. Mark, you're going to love it. I hope. I love Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter. I watched it I think it was Wednesday night. I wish I could fit it again. I think I may watch it tonight after the stream while I'm pretending to watch Saw, which I watched last night. Nothing is in the house. Says, Station, y'all. Out of all the comics I got, the only thing that was okay was Batman and Catwoman, but the art was crap. Go Niners. Prey is almost as good as Predator 1. I like hearing that about Prey. Mark says I did like Prey. I thought the Batman Catwoman story was good. It continues in Batman 1 whatever this week. We'll be talking about it soon on the DC Sneak Peek, but I've already told y'all I read that like a month ago and I loved it. And I read it again today and I still loved it. It was better the first time, to be honest with you. But there's parts of it that shocking's the wrong word. So like something that's a word that's not as strong as shocking. Kind of gave me those vibes. Watched The Hunt recently. Was so silly but so fun. Interesting. I don't know if I've heard of that one. Jay says, always loved that Savini headshot. Yeah, that's from Maniac. That was the official kickoff of Horror Fest this year. We did that on Dylan's Horror Show last Saturday, not last night, but the week before. Go check out that replay. Some great thoughts shared from the panel about Maniac. Spilio says, love that promo. Love that promo. Watching Creepshow tonight, 1982. Hell yeah, Creepshow's a great movie. Love it. Fable says, happy PCP Horror Fest 2023. What are those cards? Yeah, my homie Mark Spears did these cards. He just had Series 2 kickstarted successfully. Mark Spears Monsters. This is the Halloween edition. We've been opening them up. Mark's a friend of mine. I've known him for years, decades literally at this point, because it's been at least 2. Mark's a good dude. And he did some recent Spawn covers. He's got some other work coming up that I know about that I can't mention yet, but it's awesome. Haven't seen you do the first and last 5 in a while, yeah. No, those are not new, but he did just kickstart 2. Now, I think if you go to his website, just search for Mark Spears. If one of our Blue Wrenches can find Mark's website and throw out a link, that'd be great. So he's got new ones coming out, but you can also get other stuff. Oh God, I can't watch those. I hate psychological torture. Saw. I feel you. What's up, Jack? How you doing? What's up, Kenneth? Oh, everything dropped. Comic Pizza in the house. What's up? I love the title. I had a pizza party on Friday night. Ordered some nice pizza. What did we watch Friday? Friday we watched Night of the Demons, which we're covering at Horror Fest, but I always have to show my friends Linnea Quigley whenever I can. And we watched Crime Wave by Sam Raimi. And written by the Coen brothers, I believe. It was a good movie. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would, but I did enjoy it. And then Night of the Demons afterwards. I was pizza party Friday, Fear Friday. So unprofessional. I just totally checked my phone. Hey, we got Verno in the house. Blood Splatter Chatter. How you doing, my man? Bizarro Fett's in the house. Aw, Spilio. Somebody asked Spilio what we were talking about, and he goes, just how we are enjoying life right now and that we are surrounded by love. Hell yeah. What's up, BJ? Yeah, me and Spilio have the greatest conversations. Polar, 100% natural seltzer and lime. Is that how you make your crust? What's up, Mr. Johnson? How do you feel about Spider-Man becoming a goblin over 28 issues in Amazing Spider-Man? I'll be honest with you. I've been really down on Spider-Man here lately. It's been a very inconsistent book. But the last issue, I actually rather enjoyed, like, immensely. And I'm excited to see the story kind of throw out. So slight spoilers here, y'all. Spoilers slightly. So you know that Norman Osborn had his sins taken away in the Nick Spencer run. And now he's been a good guy. Well, somebody, who was it? Who even was it? I don't even remember who it was. Was it Craven? I don't know. Somebody can help me in the chat. But somebody was trying to re-inject those sins. Was it the Goblin Queen or some shit? Or I don't fucking know. Anyway, somebody was trying to re-inject these sins into Norman. So basically it's basically, think of it as the Goblin persona, right? Is in a vial. They want to inject it back to Norman, and it winds up in Peter. So Peter's going to be goblin-fied, and I'm excited to see what happens there. I think it's going to be cool. Their new issue comes out this week. Triangle was great. American Mary. Yeah, American Mary too, Two Gun. Fuck American Mary. That was Horror Fest last year. And I love American Mary. That movie was so good. I got to show my homies that. Evil Face Bad says, Sinister with Ethan Hawke. Not a bad movie. Seen it a few times now. Our Ariaga says, Sinister is so good. Two Gun says, Juwan is scary. Fable says, I think Juwan will be our scariest. Verno says, haven't seen Juwan, but I believe it. So the problem is now we're building it up for Verno, and he's going to watch it and be like, this ain't shit. Watch it alone when you're kind of feeling down about things. And get really drunk. No, don't get too drunk. But like, just when you're, put yourself in the right zone. Bruh, I think Juwan 2 is creepy as fuck too. Thoughts on Stir of Echoes? Haven't seen Stir of Echoes starring Kevin Bacon since it first originally came out at the movie theater. I worked at the movie theater when it came out. What was that, 99, 2000, something like that? Stir of Echoes was part of this big wave that was coming out around that time of like post Sixth Sense, coming up upon the year 2000 apocalypse type stuff. So you had Sixth Sense, you had Stir of Echoes, but then you had those other movies like End of Days, Lost Souls, Bless the Child, or Bless This Child. You had that whole string of movies. So I haven't seen it since then. Didn't think much of it back then, but definitely something I would need to rewatch because I don't really remember it. I can't wait for you, Rex, and John to have those football conversations again. What all John's going to say is that it's kayfabe. Station. Spilio says, go Bucks. Marco is good. Cool. Hi from Pennsylvania and go Eagles. Well, Mr. Johnson, I'm not going to hold that against you. Is Captain Kronos on any streaming platforms? I don't know. I own the Blu-ray, John. I do it old school. I think it's on, like, Tubi. I think it's on the free stuff. No, I don't think it is. But you can rent it from $4 and up on Apple TV, YouTube, Amazon Prime, Google Play, and Vudu. Sorry, I'd let you borrow my Blu-ray if you're right down the street, brother. In fact, you could come over and watch it with me. Captain Kronos should have been a TV series. Oh, that would have been actually a badass idea. Verno enjoys Prey. Kitten Pukes in the house. What is up, homie? How you doing? Good to see you here. Glenn says, go Lions. Prey was pretty good. Bizarro says, Batman 137 is killer. Joe says, I love the Japan version of the Ring series. Yeah, Ringu. Ringu's actually really good too. It's my intention to always do Argento. It's my intention every Horror Fest to do a Japanese film. I want to start trying to explore into more Korean. We may do a Korean film for March Madness. I'm thinking about doing The Host, I think is the one. So yeah. Trying to expand some of the horizons. And we always do a Linnea movie, and Dylan took the honor this year with Night of the Demons, which I watched Friday night, but I'm definitely going to watch. I love that movie so much. Thank you so much, Verno, for showing off the Mark Spears links. Klein's art and Hulk is the best at Marvel. I agree. It's some of the best stuff at Marvel right now. 100%. I have Spectrum and won't be able to watch ESPN unless they give the game on regular TV here in New York. That sucks. PCP, internationally known. Yeah, baby, we've been since the first day, pretty much. The Normality Channel with Riley Taylor says, so I do want to discuss this movie because this is the ultimate British family classic, Nanny McPhee. Normality? Holy shit. So, like, I actually watched that movie for the first time like 3 months ago. I was hanging out with a dear friend of mine, and she was going through a tumultuous time, and we just randomly one night, she picked that movie to fucking watch. And at first I was like, oh, okay. But then I actually genuinely enjoyed the movie. It was cute. It is a nice family film. And I can appreciate that. Yeah, would I rather watch Night of the Demons? That's fine, but that's not her bag. And, you know, when we're together, we can watch shit like Nanny McPhee. But I liked it. So those are my thoughts on that. If you ever I don't know, I'm not familiar with your channel, the Normality Channel, but if you want to actually have a discussion, let me know. If I'm free, I'll do it. I just watched that. Like, it's so weird. I just literally watched it like, it's like June, maybe? June or late May or June. Like, I watched that fucking movie. Wild. Same person I watched Pretty Woman with back in January. I've never liked that film and enjoyed it. Now, maybe she had a lot to do with that. I'm sure she did. But Pretty Woman, actually, it's a really fucking good movie. And I apologize for all the shit I've talked about it my entire life. I've never talked shit about Nanny McPhee, though. That's pretty solid, fun movie. Predictable. Honestly, it's predictable. But, like, I mean, it's actually a really solid, fun, like, family movie. Have you talked about the comic Hunger in the Dusk? Yeah, I covered issue 1. I didn't really like it. I couldn't really remember it, so I did not check out issue 2. That's me being lazy. Oh, it's Doc Ock. Mark says it's Craven. Goblin Queen and Craven. That's right, Chesney. Thank you. Raphael says, what do you enjoy more, DC or Marvel? Right now, I enjoy DC more than Marvel. But I'm enjoying both of them more than I have been. So that's a good positive sign. In particular, Marvel. I'm enjoying some Marvel books lately. More so than I have. There's more Marvel to enjoy right now. Still not overall my favorite company. I think DC is doing a better job line-wide and direction-wise. But still, to me, Image is the publisher of the year so far. Still, it's going to be tough to beat that. Who has seen the new Spider-Man film yet? Which one? Across the Spider-Verse? I've seen it. Love it. One of my favorite movies of the year. Second favorite movie of the year so far. John's going to check it out on Prime. It's definitely worth it, in my opinion, John. Ivan's in the house. Ivan the Martian from Anaheim. KO says, you should only do movies that are available free online. KO, I wish I could. We plan out our whole fucking string of movies months ahead of time. So we've done movies that were unavailable for most people to find. Like when we did Near Dark, it was impossible for people to find that. Iron Eagle, it was impossible for people to find that. So unfortunately, it's just something that happens sometimes. And I am sorry about that. But I hope, if anything, those movie nights are still entertaining and fun and insightful and positive as far as just having a good time discussing movies. And I hope sometimes they make y'all check out some movies that maybe you didn't know about. 27 euros on Amazon here. Is it worth it? 27 euros to buy? Are you buying it digitally? Is that what you're saying? Or are you getting it on Blue? Marco. Lulu! Station! It's good to see you. What'd you think of Jeepers Creepers? Kelvin, I've never seen Jeepers Creepers. William says, still waiting for Disney, Marvel, and Discovery DC to get their heads out of their ass and do an animated DC Marvel team-up film. That would actually be really cool. Oh, Lulu couldn't hear anything. Oh, you can hear now. Lulu, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Jonathan, what is up? Hey, Robbie. So far, I am going to watch Cat People and Donnie Darko on Halloween. Donnie Darko, I got my Donnie Darko t-shirt on right now. Do you believe in time travel? Look at that. And it's Frank, right? Yeah. Dude, what a coinky dink. I'm wearing my Donnie Darko shirt. I think I saw you post Donnie Darko shit on in the PCP Army like a day or two ago, something like that. Big Herm says, haven't read a DC book since June. Wow. Worlds collide, everybody. Lulu and Spilio got to briefly hear each other, I think, on a phone call last night. Synchronicity. You know it, buddy. I love Donnie Darko, but it makes no sense. It does make sense to me, Kitten Puke, but I have to, like, rewatch it again and, like, really think it out again. But, it makes sense, but, like, it doesn't go out of its way to make it make sense for you, which I kind of enjoy. And there's a lot of just extra shit you have to it. Same thing with Richard Kelly's Southland Tales. But I actually love that challenge of a fucking movie. Southland Tales and Donnie Darko. We have covered both Donnie Darko and Southland Tales, by the way, here on PCP Movie Night. We covered Donnie Darko in November of last year, I believe. And then we did Southland Tales as my cruise choice last year, I believe. Spilio, I was showing her pictures of us hanging out in Orlando. Lulu says, DC is of course my favorite. She also says, I love hugs. Karaoke with Robbie is the best. I agree. Last week was really, really fun. Oh, I love Slither. Marco, I love Slither. It's absolutely amazing. We covered that on Dylan's Horror Show like a year or two ago. I love and adore that film. Own it on Blue. Hell yeah. To buy it on Blu-ray? I don't know, Marco. Do you like Hammer films? Do you like that like slow burn 70s Hammer kind of vibe? If you like that vibe, it's worth it. If not, just rent it if you can. Kelvin, I love the film Road to Perdition. Directed by Sam Mendes, right? Who directed American Beauty right before that. But I love Road to Perdition. Tom Hanks, Daniel Craig is in that movie. It's kind of like based on Lone Wolf and Cub a little bit, but in like I guess maybe it was at Chicago or something like that, but like the gangster kind of era. And it's based on a comic book, a graphic novel. Was that Max Allan Collins? Was it? Or did he do History of Violence? No, Max Allan Collins did Road to Perdition, right? Right? Correct me if I'm wrong out there in the chat, please. Marco, if you love Hammer, I would highly suggest it. I would highly suggest it. Captain Kronos, vampire hunter, spends most of the movie smoking weed, trying to get laid, and then kills some vampires at the end. But it's like an interesting take on vampires. So if you like that slow burn kind of the classic vibe that Hammer has, totally worth it to me. What's 27 euros in American dollars? Then I can really give you a good answer. Are they close? I have the idea in my head that they're close for some reason. Lulu hasn't read Night Terrors yet, but it's on my list. I think the Ring series from Japan was some of the best horror stuff ever. Definitely an end to an era. I'm hoping that the Penguin will return in Tom King's miniseries to wrench control of Gotham from Catwoman. I wonder if Zdarsky spoke to King. It definitely feels like a lot of people are talking to each other at DC right now. Seems like Josh Williamson is almost kind of like... Josh Williamson and Mark Waid seem to be like spearheading everything, and then everybody seems to be falling in place. Even in some of this week's DC books, which I like Night Terrors too, y'all. 2910. That's a steep price. I would prefer it to be on sale closer to like 20 for me, but go for it. I think if you like Hammer, you'll enjoy the film. But I would hate for you to lose $30. I did not read X-Men 25 Fable. Should I? I have not been reading X-Men. I'm reading the new number ones. For the most part, I've enjoyed them. Realm of X is the only one I don't think I'll go back to. Children of the Vault, though, I really liked. I liked Dark X-Men. I liked Uncanny Avengers. There was something else I read that I liked. Alpha Flight was way better than it should have been, y'all. Alpha Flight was way better than it should have been. Hound of the Baskervilles, hell yeah. Now, this one, of course, doesn't have Peter Cushing or Christopher Lee, but it's still really cool. I really like the movie. But it's nice that Night Terrors, as much as I did enjoy it, I'm glad that the interruption of Night Terrors is over. And I'm glad that the next big step, which is Beast World, right? Or something like that. I'm glad that that is more constrained so far, it seems. Lulu, you have most of the original Alpha Flight. Those are some of the best comics. John Byrne's artwork in that is amazing. There's one issue in particular with Snowbird. I just love it because of the fucking ridiculousness of it. But like John Byrne had Snowbird fighting, I think the Wendigo or a Yeti or something like that in a snow blizzard, like a whiteout. And so the book eventually devolves into nothing but lettering and white panels. And I think it's rather genius. And we'll cover it one day here on Marvel in the 80s. Are there recent comics that have that slow, old school vibe? Like old school kind of comics, that kind of thing? There are some. Conan the Barbarian right now from Titan definitely has that vibe and feel to it in a very good way, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, you got that one. Hell yeah. Just got a set of Remender's X-Force. Remender's X-Force is amazing. And it's my favorite characterization and utilization of the character of Deadpool ever. All right, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, DC Sneak Peek, everybody, here on the one, the only, Rockin Robbie Live.
to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Bills. We have already had a great time discussing movies, comics, pop culture, all that jazz and more here on Rockin Robbie Live. Coming up, we got the DC sneak peek. We got DC in the 90s. I think it's the first time we're ever actually doing DC in the 90s. That's going to be cool. We got show and tell coming up. We got taste tests, unboxings, all this kind of stuff still coming up. But this show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. Get them in the chat right now. What do you want to talk about? You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheRockinRobbie. You can find podcasts, links to merch, and more at popculturephilosophers.com. And you can support the channel over at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons right there, or with a super chat tonight, which will trigger a Joker video and a Hellboy song. We are in the midst of Horror Fest, everybody. It continues tomorrow night on PCP Movie Night at 8 p.m. Central Time with Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter. It then continues over at Blood Splatter Chatter on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time with Sisters, right? And then on Saturday night over at Dylan's Horror Show at 8 p.m. Central Time with Prey. And I will be on all three of these Horror Fest shows. We got a great lineup for Horror Fest. It's the biggest and baddest ever. And the PCP Horror Fest t-shirt with the logos for PCP, with the logos for Dylan's Horror Show, DHS, and the logos for Blood Splatter Chatter, BSC. All those logos and on the back, the entire list of movies we're covering. It's a great badass shirt. You can check it out at the merch links in the description below, and I would appreciate it if one of the Blue Wrenches would throw out a link to our merch over at TeePublic. Good to see everybody here. Hope you had a great break. I do also want to point this out too. We were nominated for six CBC awards. We were nominated for Best Favorite Channel in our subscription tier. We were nominated for Best Overall Channel. We were nominated for Best Ongoing Series with the weekly comic book review. We were nominated again for Best Comic Book Review. That is a title we're going to try to successfully defend. We won it last year. We want to win it again. Best Collaboration for the monthly comic book review. And Best Beard and Hair. Come on, y'all. Let's do it. Let's do it. Please vote for us and let's go for the sweep, PCP Army. over at the cbcawards.org. And I'm sure somebody will throw out a link to that as well. Hell yeah. All right, let's take a look at the chat, see what's up. I really do like metal, Dark Knight's metal. I love metal, and I love death metal, and I'm talking about the DC events. But what I love the most about all of it was the build-up between Scott Snyder, Jorge Jimenez, and others. James Tynion, Mikhail Hanen were a part of that. But, like, they did this extended run of Justice League in between metal and death metal that, to me, is just, like, superhero comic book fucking perfection. Like, I ate that shit up, and I have not been this excited for a superhero team book since Grant Morrison's JLA with Howard Porter back in the day, in the 90s, right? What introduced me to the concept of the mythology of superheroes, that it's more than just silly shit to read and collect and cool hologram covers, right? Because I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. I was there during that speculator boom, that big bubble that burst. I was there for the burst. I read comics through that burst and through some of the darkest, leanest times of the comic book industry, and we stuck with it, and we've grown back to a solid foundation. But we got to grow this industry out even further, y'all. There are not enough people realizing how dope the medium of comics is, and it's not always necessarily because of the superheroes. But the thing is this: books like Snyder and Jimenez and others on Justice League, that is something that's big, and it's bold, and it's giving us things that you don't get in TV and film. It's giving us some of these bigger, bolder ideas. When you're getting into the comic books are able to do that. And that's why comic books should actually be the driving force of fiction. Because if you can think it and you can draw it, it's real. And there's no budget aside from paying people what they're due for brilliant ideas. Sorry, a little bit of a rant. Somebody write that down. That would make a good short, right? Hour-ish in. Night of the Demons is online for free. Hell yeah. What's up, Interfacer? Yeah, those foil covers on metal were great and gorgeous. 100%. Mark Waid and Peter David comics. Yeah, they give you some of that old school vibe. Shazam will give you a little bit of that right now. World's Finest. Batman Superman World's Finest will give you a little bit of that old school vibe. But Conan's where you're really going to get, I think, to the heart of it. As far as the vibe goes. X-Men 97 delayed to 2024. It's probably for the best, Fable. Marvel needs to stop rushing shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Marco's looking for the PCP Army Facebook link, and then Fable. Boom, right there. Lulu loves omnibuses. I've been getting rid of all my omnibuses because I hate reading them. They're So I had some of these cool omnibuses and I liked them, but then I was like, you know what? I don't want to this is too much. It's too cumbersome for me to read. I feel like I need to get at a pulpit or a podium or something, right? So I'm switching back to mostly the nice deluxe hardcovers, which I love the ones that Image does, like the Ice Cream Man Sunday edition, the East of West hardcover editions. Those are beautiful, beautiful books. But I've been streamlining my collection back down again and realizing, I'm 42 and I'm not going to read a bunch of this shit ever again. So let's every once in a while, I think we need to purge and cultivate our collection a little bit and really start getting it down to the essentials and having us just not be overwhelmed with things, but actually have and be surrounded by things that we really love. I've been selling a lot of my Power Rangers stuff, for instance. So just purging it, keeping some pieces though. I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm talking to you, Dragon Zord. All right. I was talking about Deadpool earlier and I was looking at this on the wall. So I just wanted to show my on-card Deadpool figure from one of the most influential toy lines of my life. So there's that. Let's put him right here. Let's put him right there. A little Deadpool action. But omnibuses are cool. Marco says, I don't want to sound too groupie, but Robbie, I love your weekly comic book review. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I really enjoyed your weekly comic book review. Keep it up, man. Well, thank you, RS Cyclist. I really appreciate that. Mike says, best comic review show should be a lock. Well, thank you, especially with the snubbing of Nick. I think Nick's my biggest competition, honestly, there. But that being said, I don't know too many of those other guys. I don't. And so I don't want to degrade anybody else. It's an honor to be nominated. But I want his PCP Army to come out in droves this year. Come out in droves. Get your friends, get your wives, get your kids. Get everybody in your life to go to the cbcawards.org and make sure that we sweep this and let people know how fucking big of a deal the PCP Army and the PCP Army Bad Batch actually is. Because we have a community here. The comic book community, especially here on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, all that shit. It's a great community. It really is. We all got our ups and downs, but we got a great community. But within that overlarging community, the PCP Army, and then in which is the inner circle, which is the Bad Batch, and then the Excitable crew, we're the best, y'all. We're the fucking best. And so vote for these awards for you, because you fucking deserve it. These awards aren't mine. We make this community. Do you get what I'm saying? Just because I'm the guy here with the microphone doesn't mean shit. Y'all make the community. You make everybody feel so welcome here. My homie Clayton, who was first in the chat tonight, told me, I don't usually participate in YouTube live stream chats or Twitter or like Twitch chats and shit like that because I don't know. I don't feel welcome or I feel out of place. He said he was instantaneously welcomed by this group. I'm sure Lulu feels the fucking same. PCP Army, this one's for you. Station. We now pause for station identification. Y'all are the reason why I do this. Y'all are the best community and the best family I've ever had. I love y'all. All right, where are we at? Lulu says, I like big books and I cannot lie. Hell yeah. Indie Key Comics says, I've been reading Avengers. It's been solid. I agree. FF slow as always, but I'll read till I die. Me too, brother. Or sister. Or gender resistor. I'm only on issue 3 of Cosmic Ghost Rider. Was excellent. Same with Warlock Rebirth. I still got to read Thor #1. I like Thor #1 enough. I will say that. Also, X-Men Days of Future Past has been excellent. It's the first time I picked up an X-Men title in ages. Marco, thanks you for the link. I need to find the hardcover of Immortal Hulk. Immortal Hulk was one I liked, and then it kind of fell out a little bit. 1981, baby. You know it. Year of greatness. 1981 babies were born, and then the very next year was one of the best years in cinema history. Think about that. Think about that. Oh, I'm getting the Faust one. I'm so jealous. Spilio sent me a picture. He did the Kickstarter. Mine's coming through my shop, but oh my God, the Faust. I'm so ready because I don't have the last like 3 or 4 issues of Faust. I think I only have 1 through 10. How many are there? 15? Maybe I don't have the last 5. I think I only have 1 through 10. Those last few are really, I think I have 1 through 11. I need to look. I know where they are. Yeah. I'm ready. Do you think they'll reprint the hardcovers of Tales from the Crypt? I don't know. Those hardcovers were always too pricey for me. So I'm really pleased with the $20 paperback editions of it. I think it's very affordable, and I think they're good representations. But the one thing I don't like as much about modern collections, even those maybe, but especially some of the Marvel stuff like the omnibuses, like I got rid of some of them because, you know what, I'd rather take the time and hunt down the original issues because it's just the coloring of it. I don't like old school, like pre-80s, like 80s and back. I don't like pre-90s comic book coloring on today's collection reprints. For the most part, I do not. And it has honestly gotten to the part where it fucking really bothers me and it hinders my enjoyment. It really does. I've gotten, the longer I've done this, the more like super critical I get sometimes of technical things. And I hate the modern coloring of old school collections. I fucking hate it. Like, I got my Tomb of Dracula complete collection trade paperbacks. I hate that coloring. I'd rather have every issue, but Tomb of Dracula number 10, way too overpriced right now. Not going to happen. So I have the Essential collections, which is the nice black and white reproduced artwork, and I have the complete collection, which has more of the gaudy colors, but at least I have it in color. Same thing with my Fantastic Four Epic collections. I also have the Essentials. I have Fantastic Four going all the way back pretty much to 100, and a lot of solid choice issues in between. That being said, where do I sell at? I work at a comic shop, so I usually just sell them back to the shop. I get cheap comics from the shop, and so when I sell them, I give the shop the first opportunity at them. Oh, everything dropped down. Yeah, this community is great. 100%. Starscream 5, what is up? What's up, Albert? What's up, Felipe? Thank you. Yeah, this community is great. Get Granny to vote for Robbie. Hell yeah. Are the new Image Creep shows hard to find in monthly issues? I didn't think they were. There's a new series about to launch up, though. I did enjoy Distillery. I did. Oh, Spilio, I love this community, and it starts with Robbie. Best place to be, and also a joy to be involved with. Well, thank you so much. And we got a super chat from Spilio. Come on. We need to hear the Hellboy song. And also, this is sent with love. Well, this is given with love, John. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. Y'all ready? Let's go. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nun who had a sex with the demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. Now he fights evil and monsters. Shit! Now he fights with a man who's a fish named Abe. Now he fights with a fire starter named Liz, and an ectoplasmic mess named Johan. BPRD. Thank you so much for the super chat, John Spilio. And thank you so much for the love, everybody, to the super chat station. Pop, pop, boom. You know what I'm saying? Now he fights evil and monsters. Fuck, I love doing that shit. Thank you so much, Spilio. Oh, my goodness. All right, y'all. Believe it or not, DC Comics is releasing comic books this week on Tuesday. I've read them. It's time for your DC Sneak Peek. All right, we got some good ones to talk about. DC had a pretty solid week, starting off with Blue Beetle, issue number 1. So we had Blue Beetle Graduation Day. A lot of stuff that happened in there was set up and continues in here. However, I only read the first 2 or 3 issues of that. I didn't feel lost. I was completely back into this world. I haven't seen the movie yet, and this is slightly mistimed to come out like 2 weeks after the movie comes out and just doesn't really make the movement that DC wants. But Blue Beetle number 1, and I don't even know if this is the same creative team, but it was really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was solid and one of the better Jaime Reyes books I've actually read. So I thought it was good. The artwork was very kinetic, very dynamic, and it had a nice sense of buoyant fun, if that makes sense. All right, then we got Poison Ivy issue number 14, and I am once again so glad that the interruption of all the Night Terrors tie-ins are over, and we're back to the stories. I'm a little bit worried. Is the momentum going to be lost on some of those DC books that I was enjoying? I am proud and happy to say that momentum in Poison Ivy has not been lost. In fact, I got sucked right back into this story, into these characters, into Pamela's journey right now, the connection with her new friend, the connection with Harley. It's all becoming a little bit more intricate. The artwork is still really solid. All of it is by Takara in this one. Excuse me, so I like it. And an introduction of a new villain, or maybe a new version of an old villain. I don't know, but it all happens here. And Poison Ivy, if you've been enjoying this book, no reason why you're not going to get sucked right back in post Night Terrors. Then we got Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville. This is some stuff coming out of that Power Girl special or whatever. I didn't read that. But Fire and Ice, two characters from that Keith Giffen, J.M. DeMatteis, Kevin Maguire Justice League run from the 80s. That was the Justice League when I was reading comics for the first time. That was the Justice League. And I was always so like, I didn't really like it when I was a kid because I would be like, why is this not like Super Friends or Superpowers? Like, why is it, where's Superman? You know, like, where's Green Lantern? Like, this isn't my Green Lantern. Who's this redheaded guy? Anyway, at an older age, in my early 20s, I really started appreciating that run. And I really do like these characters. So this is set up from some of that Power Girl stuff, those backups maybe, or the special, whatever. But basically what's happened is Fire and Ice, down on their luck, being moved to Smallville at Superman's behest. And Fire and Ice right now are kind of growing apart. They don't really see eye to eye. Fire's not ready to let go of the fame that she once had as a member of the Justice League, and they're trying to set up shop in Smallville, and they bring the chaos with them. But this was fun. The artwork by Natasha Bustos is what exactly you expect it to be. This is a book that does not take itself very seriously. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It plays with a lot of fun. It pokes a lot of fun at tropes and shit like that. So if you want a serious book, don't expect this to be that. But if you like that kind of, it's not satirical, but if you like that kind of like tongue-in-cheek vibe, especially from that Justice League run in the 80s, you might want to check that one out. And we got Birds of Prey issue number 1. Very excited for this book. Really cool lineup for this team. Black Canary, Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, Big Barda, Harley Quinn, and Zealot. Like, characters that are absolutely awesome, you know, and I've only recently really become a Harley Quinn fan, but I am a huge fan of Kelly Thompson and Leonardo Romero and Jordi Belair when they work together. Like, holy shit, I was ready for this book. I loved the setup of this book. I loved the script of this book. I loved the characterization. I love everything that happened in the story. I loved the line work. I really did. The composition, the panel design, the flowy nature of the story. Leonardo Romero is able to make something feel very designed, but at the same time, free-flowing and filled with momentum. That was all there. I love the coloring choices by Jordi Belair. It's got this like 60s kind of kitschy shtick to it or something like that, a little pastel-y at times. However, there is something off about this book. And I think it's the printing. I don't know. I don't think it's going to come across on the screen. But there are certain pages where there's a fuzzy nature to the line work, to the artwork. Like there's this weird thing where it doesn't work on the printed page. I don't know if this is going to come across. But that page right there, not the ad, but the page with Zealot. Like, it looks kind of fuzzy and not clear, and I think it's a printing error on this book because it should look glorious, right? And I would be curious to see this digitally and see what it looks like there, because I can see how this book should be really freaking awesome and some really great color choices at certain times, but it just comes across like it's not printed right. But it was a really great story, really great utilization of these characters. Loved the line work, loved the color choices, but the printing nature, the way it was printed, something's off there. Something's off. Justice Society of America, issue number 6. Loved this issue as well. The first arc is over. We are now in this new golden age. We've had the Stargirl Lost Children special. We've had the first 5 issues of this. Now, Geoff Johns is taking everything he set up and building something with it. So this is continuing on with all these new sidekicks that have been showing up since the end of that Stargirl series, and how it's going to be incorporated into the future of the JSA and what this book is going to be identifying as. And I think the book does a great job. You got a different artist here. It's Marco, I think. Marco Santucci. And the art is solid and it's good, but it's not the greatest. But I do think it's going to get the book back on schedule. And I think that's a good thing. Shazam number 3 has amazing artwork from Dan Mora and some really cool story beats as well. Basically, Billy is afraid to become Shazam again, Captain Marvel, because he has been like having personality switches and all this kind of stuff. You find out a little bit more about maybe what's actually going on behind the scenes, but you're also just getting great classic superhero action in dynamic fashion from Dan Mora and written by Mark Waid. Then you got my favorite DC cover of the week. Peacemaker Tries Hard, issue number 5. Kindergarten Cop homage right there. Kyle Starks is doing the Lord's work here. So is Stephen Pugh. If you like the Peacemaker James Gunn show, there is no reason why you should not read this book. It is quirky, it is crude, it is rude, and it is out there and zany fun. Then we got Batman 137, the second part of the Batman Catwoman Gotham War. Loved this issue. I read it a month ago and I ranted and raved about it, and I love it just as much here. One of my favorite issues of Chip Zdarsky's Batman yet. You got artwork by Jorge Jimenez, and at the end of the events of the opening salvo, or the opening shot of salvo? or the opening shot of Batman Catwoman Gotham War. Batman and Catwoman, very definitive line in the sand about what's going on right now. Basically, Catwoman is trying to have all non-violent crime be safe in Gotham to lower the violent crime rates. And it's working, but Batman's not cool with that, and it's splitting his family. We also know that Batman is slightly possessed right now by a multiverse of Zur-En-Ars, and Batman starts going ham as fuck in this issue of Batman. And I absolutely am all here for it. And even though we've seen stuff like this before, I have never seen it come across so epic in its scale on a personal level. There is so much that I love in that book. So let's recap. Blue Beetle number 1, very cool kinetic comic book. I really liked it. Poison Ivy number 14, not losing any momentum because of the Night Terror's interruption. Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville, tongue-in-cheek, good, solid fun. Birds of Prey number 1 would be pick of the week contender, but there's something about the printing on this book, I think. JSA number 6, continuing to build on everything that's been set up by Geoff Johns. Shazam number 3, doing what Shazam does, which is be pretty freaking solid. Peacemaker Tries Hard number 5, absolutely hilarious. And then Batman 137, what a freaking awesome issue of Batman. And that has been your DC Sneak Peek. All right, let's take a look at the chat. I see that Steph has showed up. Hell yeah, Steph. How are you doing, brother? Missing link. All right, let's take a look at the chat. What's that sound? Somebody's broken into my apartment, I think. Glenn says, I love playing the Hellboy song really loud in the car. Spilio says, let's hear about DC, y'all. Indie Key Comics says, I want to get into omnibuses so I can read stuff I can't afford, like FF 1 through 100. Hell, absolutely. Get the Epic collections when they're available, or the new Mighty Marvel Masterworks even. I don't know if there's going to make it all the way through. But the Epic collections, there's like 5 or 6 of Fantastic Four right now. Get you pretty much up through, I don't know, like the 50s, 60s, 70s, something like that. Spilio says, I love DC and I think they are killing it. Lulu says they have done so much work to get there and I'm a huge fan. Definitely killing it. Lulu's excited they put Wayne Family Adventures back in print. Just so wholesome. Something you never get to see. Spilio's looking forward to Birds of Prey and Fire and Ice. Hey, we got Bobby De La Ghetto in the house. What is up, my man? Sinner says, this might be the best segment because he gets all the books a week early for the stream, even though I'm not a DC fan, but I like the Marvel flashbacks even better. Hell yeah. We got the arrival of Missing Link. The one, the only, the sexy beast of the excitable PCP crew. Missing Link, a.k.a. Steph. Yep, Brother Joe's in the house. Second team is here, everybody. The backups are here. Fuck yeah. Love y'all. Nobody's a backup for us, man. Everybody's not a start. Everybody's a starter and riding the bench at the same time. Does that make sense? Albert says, I'm backlogged real bad right now. I'm reading stuff from April right now, shaking my head. Once you fall behind, it's like damn impossible to catch up. Yeah, sometimes you just got to jump back in and just accept that you missed some shit. Spilio says, JSA is a great read. Spilio says, Shazam is so much fun. Steph says, I just read stuff as it strikes my interest. Hell yeah. Keep putting off JSA, which is weird because I love John's OG JSA works. You'll love this one then, bro. What's up, Sean? How you doing? Did I miss any comments during my rant about the importance of comic books? Just nobody care about that? Is that what happened? I probably missed something. Who knows? Anyway. All right, y'all. We've been putting this one off. So we're going to get to it because I want it to happen. It's time to go back. How far? Back in time to the 90s and DC Comics. And DC Comics, as infamous as the 90s can be, DC was pretty fucking solid in the 90s, y'all. And a book like this is one of the reasons why. So it's time for your very first edition of DC in the 90s. And today we're talking about Batman Legends of the Dark Knight number 54. This is written and illustrated by Mike Mignola with Dan Raspler helping him on the script. This book came out in 1993, right before or during the time that Seed of Destruction was being worked on and developed, and Hellboy was in its very early stages. And Cartoonist Kayfabe did a video, a great video I would highly recommend you to check out about this book. But I want my perspective on this. This is what they call the prototypical Hellboy book. Everything that makes Hellboy Hellboy is prevalent in this book. Mike Mignola is one of my absolute favorite comic book artists. It's the composition. It's the panel design. It's the atmosphere. It's the mood. It's the tone. It's the silhouettes. It's the moon right there. It's the statues that you're seeing setting something up. It's the use of color in this book. I love Mike Mignola. And this is one of the absolute best Batman one-shot comics I've ever read. It starts with this dude doing some kind of like Blood Rider ritual at a graveyard. He's being chased by Batman. Great double-page splash right there. This is total Hellboy. And if you look at Mike Mignola's work in the 80s and the very earliest of the 90s, he's on his way, but he's not quite there yet. But here he's inking himself, and that is a big bonus as to why it's working. Now, the coloring, let me find the colorist's name real quick. The colorist is Mark Chiarello, and it's not quite Dave Stewart, but it's very similar to what Dave Stewart's going to wind up doing on Hellboy. And I think Mark Chiarello was the original color artist on Hellboy. But it shows you how much color theory and input Mike Mignola actually has. So Batman's confronting this dude at the graveyard. He's been killing all these people. He's there for some kind of blood ritual or something, maybe. He's about to stab Batman. Batman's like, no, and kicks him off, and he impales himself on this, like, graveyard fence, right? This, like, iron gate. So he impales himself. Batman's like, what? All of a sudden, he's on a tomb, on a mausoleum or something. It opens up and swallows him up, and he falls down, and we got a very Christ crucified kind of composition here. So now Batman's in this, like, afterlife, otherworldly, supernatural place. Mike Mignola's artwork is so striking here. The way that he has that, like, fog haze effect. His use of color. Switching now. We had so much blue. Now we're into these greens and these yellows. The sickly, sweet kind of vibe of this crypt that he's in, this otherworldly dream. And he's finding out about this dude whose grave he basically smashed into, and then he gets visited by the dude. We're the dude's ghost. Look at those eyes. Not Batman's eyes, but the eyes of the ghost in that middle panel at the bottom. That is absolutely striking stuff. Look at the composition here. We're hearkening back to that Christ crucified pose there. We're utilizing that into the composition. It is absolutely amazing. This dude's talking to Batman. He's explaining his story. This is exactly how Hellboy stories are structured. 100%, right? He shows up. He tells his story. Yo, I was this dude. I was joining this cult. I was into magic, ceremonial magic. We went too dark. We went too far. I pushed too much. My wife was hounding me about it, but I killed her and used her as a blood sacrifice. Unfortunately, it led to my untimely demise, but I need you now to bring me back. Look at that page right there. Look at that second panel. And I'm so glad, actually, that this whole segment got pushed back a few weeks, because this is very appropriate for Horror Fest. But this dude's like, Batman, you're mine. And there's no difference between me, because I killed my wife to help myself. You killed that dude, the crook. You just killed him. You kicked him off of a grave, and he impaled himself, or you impaled him, right? So Batman's dealing with this guilt, all this stuff. He's being leached of energy by this ghost. So if you notice, the ghost is becoming more structured, more like together, more undecomposed, and Batman's getting more and more gnarly and corpse-like until he eventually decides, I gotta get out of here, leaps out of this building. Then we have this bright introduction of red. We're seeing that Batman is not feeling good about himself. This dude is feeling better. He's full of life. It's almost like he's some kind of emotional or psychic vampire or something, right? We got this great, excellent composition. It's still going up. Batman's done. It's almost done, but then he goes, you know what, dude? I am better than you, because what happened to me, maybe it was my fault, but it was a true accident, and it's not my intent to hurt people. Your intent is to hurt people through personal gain, and you've made deals with old gods that you will always remember and regret. And then we got basically the Ogru Jihad coming out from Hellboy, that Lovecraftian tentacly nonsense that Mike Mignola absolutely loves to play with. And then Batman wakes up, crawls out of the grave. Dude who's impaled is now a skeleton and gets out just in time before the lightning strikes and hits. And he goes back and he goes, oh, it was just a dream, just a fever dream. But was it? No, Batman, it wasn't. This is an excellent single-issue comic book. Legends of the Dark Knight, number 54, Sanctum, Mike Mignola, and Dan Raspler. The colors really pop, actually, on that digital print right there. And that's the, I think the one right there scans from the, was it the Gotham by Gaslight, or there's a Batman by Mike Mignola? There's a trade paperback that has this issue reprinted in it. But I do love the way it comes across on the newsprint. It doesn't come across quite as strong. And some of the blacks don't always have, it's not the richest of blacks here, if that makes sense. But the composition is great. Y'all know me, I love Mike Mignola. In that Cartoonist Kayfabe video, they talk about, let's just kill the mood and atmosphere with this goofy fucking mullet Superman ad. But if you notice how the colors go from the blue into the green into the yellow, and then we start getting introduced back into a little bit of that sickly bluish green teal. But then the red starts coming back up. I love the thought behind comic books like this. And they don't make them like anymore like this. On that kayfabe video, Ed Piscor said if they would do this and just have the best creators do like these small Batman stories, I would totally be there for that. And they think that they do with things like Batman Brave and the Bold and stuff like that, but they don't. They don't. Not like this. If you do not have this issue, I do believe this is for a Batman fan, for a comic book fan, for a Mike Mignola fan. I think this is absolutely 100% essential to be in your collection. You can find it between 10 and 20 bucks, depending on your retailer. If you're lucky, you can find it in a dollar bin, in a comic shop that doesn't know what they have. But Legends of the Dark Knight number 54, I love it. I'm going to give it 5 ya digs out of 5. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. Let us know here in the live chat. And this has been your edition, your first edition of DC and the 90s. All right. How y'all doing? Let's see what's going on. We got Sean in the chat. I remember that. What's up? Cinder says, I might have to hop back on that Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez run. Their first run was fire. Yeah, it's pretty good right now. The only thing you missed from the second arc is that Batman got possessed by a multiverse of Zuranars, and he lost a hand, and he has like a robot hand now. He's got an Anakin Skywalker hand. Feels empty without a beer in your hand, Robbie. It's right here, brother. Hazy Snake from Good People. Yeah, Good People Brewery. I think this is out of Birmingham, Alabama, I think. It's good beer. It's an IPA. It's what I drink, pretty much. In fact, I always tell my homies now, I'm like, hey, I got my beer here. If you don't like IPAs, you might want to pick you something up. No shots tonight, though. Next week, though, Cowboys, Giants. Y'all get ready. Stu is in the house from Dr. Doom's Fan Club. What is up, my man? Great show with Steph and Fable and Verno talking about Don't Breathe. I have not seen that movie, but I did watch y'all's review, and it was really good. I told Fable that. I told Verno that. I didn't tell you or Steph that, so I'm telling you now. What's up, Average Comics Joe? What's up, no one? Anyone going to New York Comic Con in October? Not me, Trade Paper Dad. Let's go DC 90s. What the fuck? I've been replaced? Marvel in the 90s. Yep, it's DC in the 90s tonight. Why did the series Grimm stop doing foil covers? The first issues had foil variants, then it stopped because it doesn't sell enough to justify it. Oh, Bueller's in the house. Comics with Bueller. Love you, brother. Hope you're feeling better. Bueller says everybody needs to go vote for Pop Culture Philosophers for Best Channel. Comic Tropes already has hundreds of votes. We need to make sure our boy Robbie wins. Vote, vote, vote. Yes, please vote for me for Best Channel. Vote for me for all of it at the cbcawards.org. 6 categories. I want to sweep it, y'all. Let's do it, PCP Army. Come on. Thank you, Bueller. Love you. Chocos, what is up? Kid Cloud Kicker, what is up? Chiarella was DC's art director for a time. You're right. Absolutely. 90s comics where legends were born and made. Absolutely. R. Ariaga says, my first Mignola book was the Dracula movie adaptation and became a fan since. Yeah, that shit was good. I think it was right before that, too. There's some sexy artwork and has a lot of appeal. Absolutely, Sinner. Bobby says, kick his ass, Batman. Yeah, that artist is fire. No, this is my copy of this Batman. I waited for a while for this to finally come back in the collection. And I paid too much. I paid more than I wanted to for it. Next week, Lions versus Chiefs, says Sean. Oh, Bobby and Joe are going to disagree with you on that one. They're going to say go Chiefs. But you got a whole shoe on your back. What happened to that Batman TV review? Have not had the time to do it, unfortunately. That's the only reason why we haven't gone back to that. Felipe says, DC in the 90s was all the rage. Those Justice League issues before the death of Superman brings back lots of memories. Yeah, it is unfortunate, Interfacer, but that is just exactly what's going on. Yeah, we need to bring back Batman. I need to start setting one up maybe for a couple weeks from now. Let's watch a 20-minute episode of Batman, throw some, images together. Maybe if I didn't commit to the images, I could do it more often. But my favorite thing are those Perry bits. Do we have one loaded up?
This is Pop Culture Philosophers, and you're watching Batman. Fuck, I shouldn't have gotten so high, dude.
Oh my goodness, I love Perry so much. All right, we're taking a quick break. When we come back, taste tests, show and tell, more bullshit here on Pop Culture Philosophers, Rockin Robbie Live.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact. Taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't playing no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Live.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers. I am your host, Rockin Robbie Bills. We've had a great show already talking about comics, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. But the show's not over because we still got some show and tell. We still got some unboxing to do. We still got some taste tests to do as well. Check us out at patreon.com/PCP if you want to help support the channel or with Super Chat tonight. We always appreciate all the support, but all the support we need is you being here, liking, sharing, subscribing, and participating in said conversation. Next week here on the show, we're doing a special edition of Rockin' Robbie Live. We'll be live streaming during the Cowboys-Giants game for Sunday Night Football next week with the active Super Chat menu. You want to see me get completely shit-faced and try to make it through a stream watching the Cowboys? Come with us. Join us next Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Horror Fest is underway. We got some great stuff coming up, including Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter on PCP movie night tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then Thursday night, over at Blood Splatter Chatter, we're going to be talking about Sisters at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then on Dylan's Horror Show on Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Time, we'll be talking about Prey. I will be on all three of these shows for Horror Fest this week. The biggest and baddest and scariest horror fest ever. Over 50 movies talked about across 3 channels and over 30 shows. It's going to be a great 2 months of horror fest. We're in week 2 right now, everybody. All right. Time for a taste test. Got a new bag of chips. So Lay's has been doing this like flavor mashup thing. We tried the Lay's potato chips flavored like Cheetos a couple weeks ago. I loved them. I thought they were good. Tonight, we tried the Lay's potato chips flavored like Cool Ranch Doritos. They also have Funyun ones and like Ruffles all dressed. So we'll get to those eventually. But tonight, we're doing the Cool Ranch Doritos Lay's potato chips. Let's do it. Does it smell like Cool Ranch? It does, but it also smells like Lay's potato chips. So it's an interesting smell. Because we're used to this with the Doritos, right? Obviously. Which, by the way, I do believe that Cool Ranch Doritos were like the first ranch-flavored product. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were. Ranch chips never quite caught on, and they usually don't come in like a thin chip. They usually like are better with like wavy Lays or Ruffles or something, right? Jalapeno Ranch Ruffles are really fucking dope, by the way. So let's see. Cool Ranch seasoning. You see it on the chip. Let's take a look. Okay, weird. Oh, okay. Very Doritos Cool Ranch, but with the texture of a Lay's potato chip. Okay. Obviously, they're not bad. Okay. All right. Wow. It is exactly the Doritos Cool Ranch flavor. Obviously, it should be. Lay's owns Doritos, so there's that. But that ranch flavor works better for these chips than the other ranch flavor they typically try on these things. And it worked better than the Cheetos flavor did on the Lay's chip. So I'm going to say 4.5 ya digs for the Cool Ranch Lay's potato chips. 4.5 ya digs. Eat an apple. A lot of excitement for the Lions this year, I'm seeing in the chat. Who's the one horror icon, living or dead, you'd love to interview or just talk to you? Out of the horror icons that I have not met yet, I would go Robert Englund and Cassandra Peterson, Elvira. Including everybody that I've met and haven't met, what horror icon would I like to have on the channel for a chat, for instance? Linnea Quigley. Linnea Quigley is my number one favorite horror icon. She tops Jason. She tops Michael. She tops Freddy. She tops Pinhead. She tops all of them. Linnea Quigley, my number one. Sinner says, it's weird. I hate ranch, but I like Cool Ranch Doritos. Maybe that just says something about Doritos. Well, it's a different kind of flavoring. A little bit different. There's something different about it. It's like actually dusted with that shit, right? So it's not ranch dressing flavored, but it's like ranch flavoring. Which I don't even know what the fuck ranch flavoring is. Jay says her shower scenes alone. Yeah. And I've met Linnea. And she's everything. Still is, bro. I still would try to shoot my shot. Now, I get to meet somebody next month. I'm meeting somebody at Scarefest who I've not met yet, who I'm kind of nervous because I do have a major crush on her, Danielle Harris. I'll meet her, and I'm very, very excited for that. One of my favorite, I've met Kane Hodder. I've met Felissa Rose twice, and I did the panel with her at the Huntsville Comic Expo this year, so that was awesome. Yeah, if they were still alive, Vincent Price, Wes Craven, those would be, James Whale, that'd be dope. Boris Karloff. Clyde Barker would be a good one, too. John Carpenter, absolutely. Hey, I love Danielle Harris on Roseanne. All right, hell yeah. Yeah, I love me some Danielle Harris, y'all. I really do. I really do. All right, we're going to get into the show and tell portion of the program tonight. We're going to kick that off with an unboxing. So I've had this figure for a while, weeks and weeks and weeks, and I've been saving up things to open up. But tonight we're going to be opening up the Turtles Universal Monsters NECA crossover they've been doing. I've been collecting these up. This is Splinter as Van Helsing. Great packaging, as always, from NECA. There's the figure. We've showed them off before, but we're going to open them. I don't have my knife for some reason, so let's see if the pin will work. Let's see if the pen is truly mightier than the sword. All right, here we go. That's a cool looking figure. It's modeled it looks just like Splinter from the movie. He comes with some stakes, some arrows, crossbow. He should have come with a cane, though, that pulls off into a stake. He's got a face with a hat. The hat might be removable. Probably not, because the other face has glasses, too. Let's see if we can get him out of here. Don't have a knife. Just rip them the fuck out of there. That's what we do. Okay. Cool figure. It is straight up Splinter from the movie. Oh, he's got a place for all of his arrows. He's got his crossbow. That's cool. But let's just take a look at the figure. It's pretty dope, actually. This is going to go well with the rest of them. We got Michelangelo as the mummy. April as the bride of Frankenstein. Raphael's the Frankenstein monster. Those are the ones I have open. He's the fourth one I've opened. I also have Donatello as the Invisible Man. And on standby, haven't bought him yet. Super Chats help to buying toys. But I got the Leonardo as Hunchback and the Casey Jones as the Phantom of the Opera on standby, ready to purchase. Pretty dope figure. I like it. Nice figure, man. Thank you, Interfacer. I was a helper for Elvira at a con in the 90s. Says Spilio. She was a doll to deal with, and yes, she's very easy on the eyes. It was a great time. She was awesome to all the people that were requesting a signature. I have a lot of respect for her. Hell yeah, me too. She's great. Very excited. Part of Horror Fest this year is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And very, very excited for that. All right, we're continuing on with Show and Tell. It's been a while since I had a comic book haul here, but I've been saving them up. So here lately, money's been tight, but I've been dollar booking. And I always dollar book. I love dollar books. You can find some of the coolest, gnarliest stuff. I found a book, believe it or not, that I've been looking to get. But it's just so rare to come across it. But I got this for $1. I got Team Youngblood #1 by Chap Yep, Rob Liefeld and Company. It may not mean much to you, but I'm glad I got a Team Youngblood #1 finally. Sometimes these things that are always in dollar bins are hard to find because they're just like uncategorized in dollar bins. This is something cool. I just got this for the novelty's sake, but that is a Youngblood #1 second printing. That's right, a Youngblood #1 second printing. I'm going hard into this Donatello, Jesus. I just saw it means Splinter be trying to kill Donatello, Bobby. Yeah, I see that. I'm going hard in this Rob Liefeld stuff. All right. Spilio, I'm glad you're still here. Because we were talking about this earlier. And I found this, came in a collection. We were going to dollar bin it. And I was like, well, since this is a dollar book, I'm taking it. It's a Meteor Man #1, y'all, from Marvel Comics. Now, we covered this on PCP Movie Night. It was one of our most popular PCP movie nights. If you've never seen Meteor Man, check it out. One of the first fully fledged black casts for a superhero film. Great book. Written by Dwight D. Coy, Bertram B. Hubbard. They may be the screenwriters, because I do believe this is an adaptation at first of the movie. I don't know. I've never read it, so I'm going to read it. No, this looks like a completely new story, actually. Is this a follow-up? I have one more issue of this. I don't remember how many issues this ran, but I have one more issue of it because it's the one Mike gave it to me because it has Night Thrasher in it. All right. Brian, my good buddy, gave me this as a gift. I've been getting into Monty Keene's work since I met him at Heroes Con. I started reading Steel Streets this week, and I'm loving it. 4 issues in. But Lost at Land, one of his newer ones. So I got the newest edition, or the newest book from him, or one of the newest books. I think there's another one now. But Brian made sure that I got hooked up with this. Great stuff. I really love this dude's artwork. I talked about him on my Heroes Con haul and report video. There's a little bit of dick right there. I'll cover that up. But no, I really like this dude's style. When I met him, I was like, hey man, I'm looking at your stuff. He was right next to Jim Rugg. I was like, I'm looking at your stuff and I really like the aesthetic. Like, what's your vibe? What do you do? And he's like, oh, I do like throwback 1980s, do it yourself, gritty, screen tone, white media, slapping ink on pages, grindy comics, kind of like Turtles, like Eastman and Laird. That's my shit. And I was like, I'll buy every single one of these books you have, which was all of Mean Streets or Steel Streets. Mean Streets is Martin Scorsese. All right. I had a homie who brought in some books to the shop. And I was like, oh, you want to sell these? He goes, no, I'm giving them to you personally. So he gave me 3 long boxes. I'm going to be using some of the long boxes for PCP mystery boxes coming up in the future. But I did flip through the books, and there's some stuff in there I was very excited to keep for myself, including New Mutants number 87, newsstand edition, first appearance of Cable as Cable. This is one of my favorite Rob Liefeld comics. I absolutely love this book. So y'all know that I've been trying to piece this collection together. So it's so cool. I got most of all of them except for one in particular. But yeah, New Mutants 87, New Mutants 88, newsstand as well. New Mutants 89, number 90. I didn't have 91, but I got 92. And I got 93. And I got 94. And I already had this, but I got 95. And 96. And 97. We don't have a 98. But we got a 99. And we got a 100. Which is going to help us continue our push into Marvel in the 90s, where we've been covering the Rob Liefeld run of New Mutants into X-Force. And we're going to cover all of X-Force. But also in this was something really cool. A newsstand edition, which was very popular at the time, but X-Men 141. One of my favorite comic book covers. John Byrne artwork. I've never actually owned this comic, so I'm glad to have it now because I get to see the original coloring faded in that newsstand, that newsprint. Oh, that goofy, nasty, mildewy smell. I fucking love it. So out of 3 long boxes, that is some really cool stuff. There's lots of like Sandman Presents stuff in there as well from like the 90s and 2000s. A lot of that stuff I've never read, so I'm excited to dive into that. Comic Forge, what's up? Pressable Defects, y'all. How you doing, homie? Good to see you in the chat, man. We need to all hook up again sometime soon. It's been too long. We should do, it's what we should do. I'm going to treat YouTube like I treat my real life friends and family. We need to have a pizza party, Pressable. We need to have a Comic Forge. We got to have a pizza party. We got to get Tom. We got to get Gary. We got to get Jim Mint. We got to get all of y'all. We just get together. We'll eat pizza and talk comics and shit. Let's just do that on a live stream. Sounds like fun to me. I'm putting the idea out there. Let's do it. Pizza party. We could talk about Turtles. We could be like Turtles Pizza Party. We could talk about the movies, the TV show, the comics, how cool Turtles. Let's have a Turtle Pizza Party. Let's do it. Like it's straight up 1980 Let's do it, man. We'll all wear pajamas. I agree. Let's do it, man. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's do it, Forge. Yeah, those are some good ones. All right. I got a nice donation from our homie Mike the Voice Matthews. of some new VHS, my friends. Y'all know me and my VHS obsession. Who doesn't like pizza? Exactly. All right, some new VHS I got. A Clockwork Orange. I like this movie. It's not a movie I watch often. So many people, especially when I worked at Movie Stop. I used to manage a Movie Stop, which is like GameStop, but for movies. They died out. Rightfully so. But people all the time would tell me their favorite movie is Clockwork Orange. And I'd be like, your favorite movie is Clockwork Orange? Clockwork Orange. Here's a good addition to the collection. Die Hard, everybody. I'm going to fire this up in the VCR at Christmas time. I don't like a lot of Woody Allen movies, but I do love this movie. Sweet and Low Down. I still have it on DVD, actually. Now I got it on VHS. Kelly's Heroes from the Clint Eastwood collection. This is going to be a crowd pleaser. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas on beautiful, glorious VHS. Oh my goodness. Forrest Gump. We're not done. No. Mike hooked us up again. Jurassic Park, a damned classic on VHS. I got to get a new shelf for these. Final Destination with that like chromium cover. Look at that. Glorious. Y'all ready to be taken back? A lot of y'all are near my age. Y'all will remember probably owning this. There's X-Men on VHS, y'all. That's how old X-Men is. It was released on VHS. Con Air, y'all. I fucking love this movie. Con Air. Oh, we got more. The Fugitive. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. Mrs. Doubtfire. This is a good one right here. The Land Before Time. That's great. I'm surprised that's not clamshell, actually. Highlander, y'all. We were talking about this on Friday on the Rex and Robbie show with Dynamite. Highlander on VHS. I don't even have that on Blu-ray. I need it. I need it, and I need it now. And I guarantee you we're covering it for PCP Movie Night 2024, baby. Then we got An American Tail. So now I just got to get Fievel Goes West to complete the collection. And the final VHS, Steel Sealed, with special bonus features. A 2 VHS set of Saving Private Ryan, y'all. Special limited edition. Is this shit even in widescreen? It's digitally remastered in high definition. Allegedly is what it says. Double video cassette, digitally mastered in high definition. Yeah, well, it doesn't come across as high definition. I guarantee it. It's probably still pan and scan, too. That's fucked up. I'm going to have to... I almost don't want to open it. It's like the VHS I have that's not open, I don't want to open. I have an unopened Small Soldiers. Weird stretches, I know. But yeah, those are my VHSs. The newest bits that I got. There can be only one. Oh, I love Highlander. What's up, Sleepy Reader? Oh, Mike says, Clockwork Orange is awesome. It was a great year when that flick came out. It's the same year as my birth, 71. Bruh, I'm 81. You're 71. Dude, we're like exactly 10 years apart. That's awesome. Is your birthday May 10th? That'd be crazy. Are you a Taurus? Are you a Taurus? No? Okay. Probably not. All right. That was show and tell. That was a little bit of an unboxing. That was a taste test. I guess all we have left to do now is your Final 5. No, Glenn, I do not have Goonies or Spaceballs on VHS. But I would love them because that's the first time I ever watched them would have been on VHS. All right, we're going through this pack of Mark Spears monster cards. So right there we got the Hell Hunters. The Invisible Man, not one I've seen in this set yet since we've been opening them up. Oh, this one's dope as shit. Madam Blackwood. One-Eyed Jack. Gotta have a ghost pirate. And the monsters are loose. Let's go ahead and finish out the pack, though. The Savage Werewolf. The actual transformation of the werewolf. That's a cool one. These are special editions. The cards. Like that with the trade dress on it. All right, so we got another Invisible Man, but this is a different edition. It's more old school. I'll show you the difference. There's special cards in this Halloween edition. See, this one has no border. This one has the border. And it's on that old school stock, and this is on the new school stock. So that's a cool addition to this. He also has black and white editions. Behind you, the shark. Up, the monsters are loose, a black and white version of that. An old school version of Morden the Sorcerer, which looks like Rasputin. Another one of Drax Hot Rods. That's the special card. We've gotten that a couple times. Oh, but we've never gotten this one. Grimly Gold. A gold bordered Harry Houdini, basically. That's dope as fuck. Thank you so much, Mark. Mark's hooked me up with these. So, hell yeah. Damien says, my birth year was 1901. I feel so close to you. Ha ha. VHS equals Vintage Historic Station. Hell yeah, Ricky B. All right, y'all, we're dipping out. But there's more. And y'all know there are more. But anyway, thank you so much for checking out the video. Vote for us at the CBC Awards in every single category. Best channel in our subscriber tier. Best channel overall. Bueller's encouraging you to help me overlap comic tropes because it seems like he's in the lead right now. So definitely vote for me there. Best ongoing series with the weekly comic book review. Best comic book review. We're defending that title, please. Best collaboration with the monthly comic book review. I want that for everybody else that's on that panel. And then best hair and beard. That's the one I want for me. But every other one is for you. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We love you. And for the Stan Lee Award, Lifetime Achievement, vote for Damien. I love Cartoonist Kayfabe, but this is Damien's year. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. All right, we're dipping out. We love you. Station PCP Army. We'll see you again soon.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life.
I never miss that fact. Take a big swing, bitch, hand me the bat. Put me in the ring, you go out in the back. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took a red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to feel? That's right, PCP Army, how's it supposed to feel tonight? How's it supposed to feel? That's right, they want to say my name, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? Yeah. They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy. Nah, bitch, I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right? The fuel's got me hazy. About to unpack. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath. I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? The PCP! How's it supposed to feel? I appreciate the love out there, especially Swamp Bat being like, Robbie giving me life. Choco saying, cheers, DJ Robbie. Hell yeah, y'all. Hell yeah. All right, don't forget, next week, a special edition of Rockin Robbie Live. We're going to be live streaming during Sunday Night Football, Cowboys versus Giants, kicking off the Cowboys NFL season this year. And the Super Chat menu is going to be active. That means I'm going to be drinking and acting a fool, so it's going to be so much fun. What's the difference? All right, we got a taste test. Mike the Voice Matthews. Am I tired of saying his name? No, because I love that motherfucker so much. And he hooked us up with our first Halloween cereal outside of Carmella Creeper, which he also hooked us up with, which we're going to be taste testing. Brand new. Zombie Apple Jacks. Zombie Jacks. So I guess the idea behind this cereal is that it's green apple flavored Apple Jacks. So I guess no cinnamon. I'm assuming green apple. I don't know if there's a cinnamon flavor, so we're going to see. We're going to open this bad boy up. Nothing on the box. It's a different face on the back. That's it. So let's do it. Let's open this shit up and let's try it. I love how scared the apple is. The red apple's being run off. Little apples on the top there too. All right, let's take a look at the bag. So it looks like Apple Jacks, the same colors as Apple Jacks. But they are green spots. Aren't they normally reddish spots? All right. It smells like green apple. Like sour green apple is what it smells like. So, got a bowl. And it's supposed to turn your milk green, which is super cool. turns your milk green. See? All right, so believe it or not, my store was out of my milk. I usually use vanilla almond milk, a certain brand. They didn't have any vanilla almond milk, any almond milk in any brand. So I got 2% milk here. Got a tiny thing. I never drink actual milk. So I hope I don't shit myself tomorrow. I'm not lactose intolerant. I just haven't drinking milk in a long time. But let's do it. I needed milk for this. Got to stab it a few times. Apple Jacks is still a cereal that I really, really like, honestly. And they still have a little bit of oat texture, right? Pretty sure. It's not all oats. Nope, it's all corn. God damn it, it's all corn now. All right, it's all corn. %1 is far better health-wise. Well, thank you. Well, I cannot do whole milk at all. Like I normally do. All right, it is turning the milk green. You can't see that at all. It's a little green. It's green. Trust me, it's green. You know what? For being made with corn flour, Apple Jack still has like a good texture to it, which is odd. Maybe it's the like Cheerio shape. All right. First of all, no cinnamon at all. So it is just green apple flavored cereal, which honestly doesn't come across very well. I don't think I like it. Oh, now the milk's getting really green, though. I do like that. Halloween Crunch always does the change in the milk color thing. Way greener now. That's actually cool. Yeah. Still very actively 12-year-olds at times. 12 years old. The flavor is just not strong enough. It needs that cinnamon. I can taste the green apple difference, but it's not strong. It needs the cinnamon. Or caramel. They did caramel Apple Jacks last year or 2 years ago. It seemed like nobody liked it. I liked it. Zombie Jacks, though, does sound like Dead on Arrival, like zombies. Like it just kind of doesn't have the life of Apple Jacks. It's even more green now. Yeah, the milk's just okay too. I don't know, it's all right. 2.5, you digs. You made some cereal. It's Halloween themed. I was actually really excited that they did something different than just the like Apple Jacks with the skeleton marshmallows. That's better, in my opinion, because Apple Jacks is way better than Zombie Jacks. They're okay, but I'm not going to really want to dive back into that. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. No one, you can get a PCP shirt at TeePublic. Look in the links in the description below. Nah, my roof of my mouth's not getting cut to shreds. That's like a Captain Crunch thing. Anyway, you made some cereal. It's Halloween themed. Literal facts. Yep. 2.5, you digs. Slightly disappointed. All right, y'all. Love you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate everybody being here for these Rockin Robbie live streams. We're going to be live again next week for the Cowboys game, and the week after that for Rockin Robbie live. And hat to the back, Stu. That's my TLC. Like, I love Crazy Sexy Cool. Crazy Sexy Cool is amazing. Fan mail's okay. Crazy Sexy Cool is amazing. But to me, it's still, on the TLC tip. That's my number one, baby. I love every track on that fucking album. All right. We're going to wrap it up tonight with another taste test. So this is like a dill sauce that Mike made me to try on hamburgers. I don't know what's all in here. There's something yellow, something red, something green. I think they're peppers. There's yogurt, I know, and a lot of dill. I call this Mike's Big Dill. So I've been making burgers. Those who are on my Facebook feed know what I'm talking about. I'm becoming a burger master, y'all. So Mike's like, try this on a burger. Looks like cucumber in there, maybe. Some red and yellow peppers. It's like a tzatziki sauce or something, right? It's got tang to it. Very dilly. It's got crunch. I like it. In fact, Lulu, don't break kayfabe. We haven't tasted this at all yet, Lulu. We didn't taste this last night when Mike gave it to me. No, Lulu tasted it too. The stuff was tasty. It is good. It's got like a... It's very like... Oh, I think I should have got some feta cheese. Maybe I still have some feta cheese. Feta cheese lasts for a while, right? That's just... Like, how do you smell it? Like you smell feta cheese. How do you know if it's gone bad? I guess if it smells wrong. Anyway, I think some feta cheese. And I did pick up some serrano peppers and cucumbers today because I think cucumber, like I'm going to cook a burger. When I get off the stream, I'm going to cook a burger. I'm going to put this on a toasted brioche bun. One side or both sides. Should I add harissa sauce to give it a little kick? To give it a little vinegary. I need something vinegary. But I got pickled onions. Ooh, pickled onions. Lena told me caramelized onions, but pickled onions would probably be really good on that, actually. What About Your Friends is such a good song, a good feel-good jam. You're good, Lulu. Love you. I'm thinking the toasted brioche bun with this dill sauce, some thinly sliced cucumber to add additional crunch. Pickled onions. Should I add the harissa sauce? I think I need something, the vinegar to cut it, but the pickled onions are going to do that. I may not need that, but that's going to add spice to it. Should I add the harissa sauce or not, y'all? What do you think? Maybe I should add it on the side to see what it tastes like. Love you, Herm. I don't know. I'm going to make this burger and I'm going to post it up in the PCP Army. Y'all see. Y'all see. All right, y'all. We love you. I'm dipping out. I'm going to go make a burger and watch Saw. We love you guys. Have a good one.
This is Pop Culture Philosophers, and you're watching That Man. Fuck, I shouldn't have gotten so high, dude.